For the Craft with 5 collaboration, stick around to see what 5 products I had to use on all of my scrapbook pages. Hey, it's Beth, welcome. This is the Craft with 5 collaboration, and it's just a collaboration I created this year to help us play with some items that we don't normally think to use, or maybe we're going to think about them in a different way, use them in a different way than we normally do. So each month there's 5 prompts that we're given, and there are a group of participants who play along each month, and they will be listed in the playlist linked in the description box below. This month the prompts were the colors green and yellow, flowers, sequins, and image stamps. So with colors green and yellow, you could take and flowers, you could take this spring, you could take it St. Patrick's Day, summer. I mean, you could really do those, kind of go many different ways. I kind of took it in I took it as spring, because I don't really do a lot of St. Patrick's Day crafting, but I took it as spring, but there's only one set of my layouts that are actually spring related. So I decided to take advantage again of the opportunity of this collab and make some scrapbook pages. These are 2019 photos, because this year I am up to the year 2019 of getting my photos scrapped. So they're all 12 by 12 layouts. I do have multiples of each layout because I scrap for myself and then my 2 daughters. So this particular event, I only have layouts for my daughters, not myself. So this wasn't even in spring, it was actually in July, but they were pretend play. Ellie, my oldest, was a star, and Avery was her assistant. So, I don't know, it was just cute, and so I managed to snap some pictures. So for my prompts, I have green, and this is like a very bright green. This was just a scrap I had in my stash. I have yellow here in the pattern. There's green in the pattern too. Yellow in the pattern, yellow back here. I have flowers in my pattern. And then my image stamp is also flowers. This is the Mini Magnolia stamp from Altenew. And I use the die. I have the coordinating die to cut it out, and then I also use some of the Altenew alcohol markers to color them up, and then I added some Wink of Stella because the paper I found to kind of go with the colors in the patterns for my base page was it's a little bit of a sparkly sheen to it, so I added some Wink of Stella to my flowers here. So I think the last thing, sequins. I brought in, I have a jar of random sequins. It's like just a bunch of like bits and pieces of mixes that were left over. So I just went and pulled out some pink ones and white ones for this layout. And so I have cut apart for my title, and then I brought in a few stickers to embellish, but then really just used like the sequins and my image stamp. So I have 2 of those. So this is the only one that was really like a true spring theme. And it was Easter. And so for green, I have this like obnoxious green going on for my base page, but it was the only green in a 12 by 12 that I could find that kind of worked with the green in the pattern. And I have a bunch of it, and I don't use it very often, so it kind of builds up because it sometimes comes in like the mixed packs. I don't know. So I thought at least here you're only seeing a strip of the obnoxiousness. You're not seeing like a ton of it. So that's my green. My yellow is like I have a wide strip here of yellow. I have a wide strip of floral. And then my image stamp here is this little Easter basket. This is from the Hello Easter stamp set from Echo Park. So I colored it up with some colored pencils, and then my sequins here are kind of peppered around. And then just for further embellishments, I had a few of these little stickers left, so I was able to finish off a sheet because I have used those on 2 layouts. And then I brought in some, like another like stamped egg that I think came from the stamp set, but I already had it stamped. And then some other stickers from my stash and some letters. So I have 3 of these. They are mostly the same, but they have different letters for the title and some different embellishments. And then this last one is of our dog Macy. She passed away in December, and this is actually my all-time favorite picture of her. So I'm really glad that I got to scrap that this year. This was like in June, and it was like one of the really, like the first really pretty, really warm days we had. It was sunny, and she was always a sun chaser. Like, you know, she was the one who would follow the sun around the house and lay in whatever little strip she could. So I just love this picture because she's just sitting there with her eyes closed and her face towards the sun, like, ah. So I have multiples of this layout, and this was the last set of layouts I did. There are no full strips here. These are all pieced together so I could stretch them and make my focal area a little bit bigger. And I have green, obviously. This was just some embossed pattern paper I had in my stash. Then I have my yellow. And then I have flowers here in the tulips, but then I also brought in some flowers. This is just a random jar. I think I combined a couple of the small flower mixes into this big can here. So I pulled in some green ones, and then I have some blue sequins. And then my image stamp is masked. It's a little bit hidden on this one. Hopefully you can tell, I stamped on the sun. So I had a set of dies from Echo Park, I think. It was like this cloud, the sun, and heart. And so I was like, I wonder if this little sun, this is an old Scrapping for Less stamp set, and it had the sun. I was originally going to stamp the sun kind of somewhere on the page, but I thought it's going to kind of get lost on its own. And so I tested it out, and the stamp fit right here in the center of the sun. So I went ahead and die cut the sun and then stamped the sun on the inside. So it just kind of gives the sun a little bit more interest than just the plain die cut. So I do have 3 of these, and I love this. I was made for sunny days. Me too, Macy. Me too. So those are my layouts. That's how I used colors green, yellow, sequins, which I don't think to pull out very often, flowers. I have so many, I never think to pull those out either. I don't often stamp on my scrapbook pages, and usually if I do, it's words. It's not often that I pull in image stamps. So this was a good exercise for me. Again, it made me think of using things in a little bit different way. So again, please be sure to check out that playlist to see how the other participants use the prompts for this month. I love seeing how everybody interprets it and how everybody uses those. Like everybody does something, a different type of craft. Like there's no set type of craft. It can be anything as long as you use those 5 prompts together on the same project. So check out that playlist. And as always, I thank you all so very much for your time and hope you all have a very crafty day.